Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Iced coffee check. Iced coffee, iced coffee. Mic check, 2 1 2. Iced coffee check. Alright, fam, let's get to work. Mic check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Nice copy. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Alright, so today we're gonna cook up using my new drum stash, and I'll show you a little bit behind the scenes of how I make music. So right off the bat, gonna do an 808 snare, clap. We're gonna do some hi-hats, and either 2 or 3 open hats. If it's not 3 open hats, it's 2 open hats and a perk. So we'll do that. I like to group my drums into one place, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And we're gonna call that the drums. I like to name everything, label everything as we go. Here we are with the 808. Usually if I have my bass pattern, I'll grab that, and it looks like it's just 2 Fs. Sorry, 1 F, but same note. And then what we'll do is we'll go up. And then essentially I try to create as many shortcuts as possible. If I find myself doing something over and over and over again, what I do is I either create a rack or I do something like that. Now, for the purpose of this, I guess you could say tutorial and just live cook up behind the scenes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my drum kits over here, and you're going to see I'm always working on different ones. I have the typical from Producer Grind, Zay, plug, chase the money, spins, all that kind of stuff. So we'll stick with that, spins, because most people have the spins. And then what we'll do is we'll go one by one and play the beat. Start with the rack. Let's go to the snare. And there. Only been using one hi-hat lately. If you have my pack, it's going to be this one, Experts. Shorten that up. For some reason, you know, Florida Boy, I like the Miami one I have. Okay, now what we're also going to do is just put in a couple of hi-hats, or open hats. And then, I guess for the sake of this, still a little dice in there. Okay, now, we talked about taking the piano for the bass, right? That's going to be over here on the side. And what we're going to do with that, now that we have our 808, is we're going to put that up a couple notes. I think F, and we're going to test this out. Okay, so with the 808, the first thing I want to do is throw it into a one-shot. I've been turning these things off. If you think any differently and you are an expert in Ableton, please tell me why. So we're going to push this volume up right here. This is something I see in FL Studio all the time. people turning up the gain. They also shorten, so you can kind of maybe just shorten the 808 a little bit if you need to. Okay. And then we'll make sure that we give it a little bit of soft clipping and saturation. The way I've been doing that is basically turn on the soft clip. I like DC. Once again, if you're an Ableton expert, tell me why I should change that. And then what we're gonna do is just, if you have a color coding system that you like, I highly recommend doing that. This is what I've been doing for years. The Roy G. Biv, if you will. And I'm gonna do this. And then I have a lot of presets, so I'm cutting off 200 from the lead right there, and essentially got the 808 hitting here. Looks like we're off time. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now, what I did in my kit was I included a couple MIDIs, and these are just things that you do every single time. So it's already named, so you don't have to rename your clip, and those are going to be your basic snare and clap. Now, if you want to move it off the grid a little bit and zoom all the way in, by all means, move it over a little bit, get it off time, but I just put it on time because most of the time that'll help. As far as the hi-hats go, if you want different kind of patterns, these are just ones I've exported. Usually I'll use other people's hi-hats, MIDIs, and then I'll change them and then I'll export it. So kind of starts from a really good place. If you download a lot of like other people's hi-hats, change them up a little bit, make them fit for you. As far as snare rolls and counters, basically what I have here, kind of like my counter. And then, so this is like a ridiculous hi-hat that's just like a crazy run. Probably not best for this. Let's try this one. Make sure my clap, snare. Okay, I don't have a counter snare in there, so that's why that's not playing. Counter snare, I look for something like, I think I usually use like this. I really like the Brick 6 snare, but this one's gonna be fire. This one's been working. And then let's go and mix all of our leads. Bass I can skip because we need the low from that. Looks like there's not any vocals in there. Interesting. Let's get an open hi-hat MIDI in there. And then for the perks, trying to do too many things there. I was trying to log into YouTube on the iPad over there. So with the perks, we can basically let's do like a little tap right here. I want it to be like boop, boop, boop. I see, I'm off one. Okay, so now we're gonna get that 808 bounce in there, and it's pretty much the same note, so maybe I'll change it up with an octave. And a lot of times you don't want to go too crazy with the 808. I don't need this third one. Do a little snare run at the end, maybe. I rabbit taped it a lot. RC 20, baby. Best plugin ever. Trying to keep everything above 200 for the loop. A little more focus on the high end. You could actually open it up with some width as well. Turn off magnetic. I'm not a huge fan of the digital magnetic, but it is good if you're looking for that. Okay. So now we got something working, right? I do like to soft clip. And then I mix with the Ableton push right here. You might be able to see, maybe not. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take a look at our drums. I like to pan the open hats. If you're an expert, tell me why not to. That's gonna be my saying on this channel. If you're better than me, tell me why, so I can get better. And then let's play with the whole song's gonna be built right here in this 8-bar loop. Arrangement's gonna be pretty easy. Alright, so the main sound's like right here. Fucking open hats need to go down. Hey. Yes, sir. Alright, so let's go to the next instrument. so that one's like right here. So what we're doing here is we're just making sure everything's in the right place, right? Like we don't want anything too low, too high. You know, essentially we want to make sure everything's in a good place. Big difference if you don't have it in one shot. These filters on certain things matter. Fading in and out is important too, especially with like annoying sounds. Check your fades 80. DSR is really important. Attack, decay, sustain, release. Arguably the foundation of all electronic music. Electronic, not necessarily dance music, but just like music made on computers. And you'll see I have some presets that I keep over here. We can go through how I use my stuff over here in Ableton. If you have the right 808, you shouldn't have to check the tuning, but it's really important. You can check the different tuning. So, you know, if you have the wrong 808 and you need to tune it, you can do that over here. I got 2 EQs on here. Let's take that one off. Alright. Let's see what this one's doing. So this is my low piano. I could leave that. You know what? That's so low. I wonder if that's even... I'll get rid of the piano bass here. I actually might pan that with Pancake. Kind of like that. And then my compressor I usually put at the end. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to... See, now you can't hear the loop at all, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to... Maybe up a little. Okay. So now we got a foundation, right? We have everything in place. Mixings can always be better. I usually do that in a different session anyway. And what we're gonna do now is just make sure we're happy with everything. Here we go. I like to go into 8 bars when I'm doing my arrangement just so I don't mess up. And let's just shoot this across. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to save this as a different version. Because now if I ever want to go back and export the loop, I can go back to that version. And then my beat is pretty much here. So if you're an Ableton user, click on save should be your best friend. This sounds a little muddy. Oh, and let's find, oh, that was arcade, that's why. I don't have arcade anymore. It was good while it lasted, but... looks like I got halftime going up and down. Let's see if we still want to keep that. And then... So for arrangement, I like to mix up a lot of things, right? So it could be random like this, And if you hear something you like, then change it. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take something out, and it's gonna give it some different flavor, you know, it's gonna change it up. So now you're just playing like Minesweeper with your stuff. Let different things shine. And then we're gonna go up an octave. We're gonna go down an octave. We're gonna just play around here. We're gonna get some different sounds. If you ever have any like real thick chords, you could also arpeggiate them. I don't really have a lot of those in this song. So now you're getting a little bit of variation in some of our leads. Yes, sir. Hey. And then if it gets repetitive, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to take everything out. And then I like to take out the first snare in the first clap, and it slows the beat down a little bit. I'm also going to take out these hi-hats. See how it kind of slows it down? And then what we're going to do is do a little snare roll. I missed it. You heard it a little bit though. And we don't need no 4-minute trap song, so I could probably cut all this off. And for the outro, I'm just gonna pull this down. We're not trying to overthink the arrangement here because people are gonna change it anyway based on the artist and how they write. So we're just trying to get that work. Now, if you want to add like risers, maybe you want to do some kind of effects, group these effects. I like to do white for effects, and typically I'll do like a crash. I'll do a riser, maybe some Foley, like sirens or whatever. Really just depends on what the song calls for. If I go and look for my crashes, shout out JB Sauced Up. Also, reverse crashes are pretty fire. Like that. And for my sends, this is an old project, so I didn't have. Let's turn these down a little bit. Hey. So for Supermassive, I think it's a free version for sure, Valhalla. And the best reverb of all time, 21 Savage. Let's give these some effects. Ooh. Pan it off to the side a little bit. Some people tell me not to, I don't know. You're the expert, you tell me. And let's try and find a riser. I like. Shout out Druidoo. One's pretty simple. Let's see. It's actually a downlifter into an uplifter. We'll put this over here. Also, these like snare rolls, you're gonna want to change those a lot. You don't want it to be the same every time. So I just do different variations. It could be 1 2 3 4. It could be 1 3 4. It could be 2 4. It could be 1 3. Same thing with the hi-hats. You're gonna want to change this up. This open hat sucks. Somebody's been listening the whole time, like, dude, that open hat's gotta go. Someone's been listening the whole time, like, bro, what are you doing with that open hat? You know what I'm saying? Some kind of Foley. I mean, I like to do rain, thunder, cars, you know, something to just make it sound like it's real. Probably turn this down a little bit. So this reverse will get old, so I just duplicate it all the time and then undo it, and then you can just do this again and just make sure you line it up. This was a downlifter, and then if you want, you know, you can always just take out everything. Like maybe like right here, we don't want to hear any of these. You really want to change it up a lot. There it comes. Let's see if it sounds good open. If not, I hit undo and we're back to where we started. Ooh. Yes, sir. And the good thing about these parts is the hi-hats just sound so good when they come back in. Ready? Yes, sir. Let's fuck with these hi-hats. You really don't want the hi-hats to be the same too much, but you have to have that consistency where that bounce stays. Same thing here. It's gonna come back stronger. And woo, let's go. Simple does it, baby. At this point, I usually put a wrapper on this, an acapella, something close to 155. It doesn't always have to be in key. It helps if it's in key. You can look up some of the best songs, best rappers, drop like a 21 Savage, Gunna, whatever on there. Test it out, make sure the bounce is fitting for a rapper. It's not too busy. But yeah, I mean, 33 minutes, we got ourselves a song from an old loop. I'm gonna make a couple more of these, so. Yeah, so I think we're good here. Thanks for checking it out, and we're gonna move on to the next song, so hang tight. I'm gonna hit stop recording and collect all and save and export. Yeah, I mean, so the takeaway from this is use good drum samples. If you need some, hit me up. Be organized, make sure you label everything. have kind of like a system and a workflow, take care of something before you move on to the next thing. Chapter one is, sound selection. Chapter two is kind of like arrangement, getting the midis to bounce off of each other the right way. I guess chapter three would basically be, any kind of panning and leveling. I think that's super important. Leveling, gain staging, getting things to really sit in the mix. Like, you really shouldn't notice anything. Getting your hi-hats and your open hats to bounce a little bit to create kind of that, um, bounce, I guess. Your 808s shouldn't be doing too much. They should just give kind of the rhythm and kind of that, really set kind of metronome for the rapper to jump in between. The 808 should be clean. It should definitely hit hard. The melodies need to change. You need to pitch up and down. You need to kind of take things out, put things in. As you saw with the arrangement, I was able to do that. And honestly, arrangement was one of the hardest things. It looked really easy in that video, but for the most part, I've been doing it for like 10 years, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, arrangement always drove me crazy. And some people say put a reference track in. I hate putting reference tracks in. I just think that it's the reason why we have so many songs that sound exactly the same is because that's exactly what we're doing. We're microwaving music, and you know, there's some parts of this that are microwave, but there's also parts that are innovative, and everyone has their own workflow. So, you know, I think that's really important to think about. Um, we'll just keep the stream going. Give me 1 second, and I'll switch projects. Let's go here. We're gonna switch that over. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm going back to projects from last year when I just started making loops, and you know, literally they were pretty bad loops, not gonna lie. Especially if you're just sending them out on their own, they had nothing to offer. But since it's inside the Ableton project, I can remix them, add effects, change the instruments if I need to. If I exported it, I wouldn't really have those opportunities. So the reason I'm doing it inside the project, like, I don't even know what this is going to sound like. You're going to hear it just as I am for the first time in a long time. So the vocal's stupid. I'm just going to delete that. So there's an idea here, like there's a musical idea. Let's see what this sounds like. So I literally have like thunder underneath this whole loop. You can tell the sound selection is cheap. Um, so let's see what we can do here. I mean, the whole purpose of this exercise is to take old stuff and make it good and test out the drum kit. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on bar 9, and we're just gonna go ahead and create a couple different instruments, and we're gonna call this 808. We're gonna do snare and clap. Move that there. Duplicate my snare. Two open hi-hats, and we'll do one hi-hat and one perk. We're gonna group our drums together. And there we go. Start with your colors that you're used to, whatever those might be. And then I'll mix this down. There's definitely going to be some work done on the melody, but we'll focus on the drums first. And here we go. So I'm going to go up to my kit, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just get some midis in there. My starter midis, if you just go here for the clap and the snare, If you want to do the hi-hats, we can change those. Open hat right here, you can duplicate that. And then another open hat. And I'm actually off by 1 row. And then if you want like a little, I call them snare tabs, but it's a counter snare. So that MIDI just gets in there. And what's good about that is now when I select my samples, I can actually hear them with the mix. I might go ahead and pick the same drum samples that I did from the last beat. Let's try this one. I might switch it. And then for the hi-hats, we're going to go ahead and stick to this one. The open hats, I really don't think I did a good job with the open hats in this pack. I think I might have rushed over that because I'm not happy with these. So we're at 160. Okay, so that's pretty messy, but you'll see. This will come together soon. Something's off. Mix this real quick. Arguably, it's the snare that's throwing off everything. So what we can do here, so since I won't need the piano bass, we're just going to go ahead and put that there. And then anything piano bass is gone except for the intro. And I'll drop that to the bottom. This thunder is it's going to be Foley anyway, so I'm going to start this as my effects area. And then we don't need 3 thunders, so we're going to go ahead and use this. And then once the 808's in there, you'll definitely hear everything come together. I know right now it's a little scary. And that's the point here of these videos, is like sometimes we as people, our music, our art, our businesses, we need to go through hell and come out, you know, that's just how it works. And with this 808, what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the spins. Oh, that's why it sounds like shit. I forgot to move all this stuff. So I had a bunch of stuff on the master. That was something I should have fixed because these projects start off as loop projects. So the master, it's okay. Whatever you were going to put on there, that's applied to the master. So I'm glad that I kind of caught that before it was too late. That would annoy everybody. Also, since I'm streaming, I'm going to take off the VSX headphones. That's obviously affecting it as well. So that's my bad. So now also for people who don't always make music, maybe you're a rapper, maybe you're just learning how to produce, like it's good to see things sound really, really bad and then fast forward to the end of this video and be like, oh, that came from this piece of crap. And be like, Yeah, a lot of my music sucks until it's done, until it doesn't. Um, so let's go ahead and do this. Seems to help. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing that right or wrong. I've been doing this recently. Um, all right, so these need to change. Okay, so this piano sucks and it's stupid and it needs to go. So we're gonna change that. Too much Portal could be a bad thing, let's be honest. What piano is this? Clearly. Missing it. Okay. We gotta make this more like a future type beat. So this is gonna go. Almost had a coffee. Let's go back to the beginning. Put the 808s like real low here. Let's go crazy with the hats, the claps. And we're gonna go crazy. This was a huge remake of what we started with, so we're gonna have to change up some stuff here. Yeah, we're gonna do some chop. Seems really low, right? Okay, so same thing here with arrangement. We're gonna take a few things out. And the good thing is it's the same thing, so like if we need to go back to where it is, then you just go back to it. But what we're gonna try and do here is detect where going up an octave or down an octave gives it a unique sound, and then sometimes going up and down with different pads and things, like if you went up one on the melody, down on the pad, it might create a unique mix also. I'm gonna see if this thunder is causing any issue. Shouldn't, but maybe at least on the drop we don't need it. And then let's go crazy on the 808 on the reset, like right here. And go up an octave. This piano sucks. Yeah, that piano going down, I think it's going to be good. So let's try that again. Oh. It's pretty cool. It's only a 2-minute song. I mean, we took a piece of shit, absolute trash sound selection, no real good melody or counter melody, and just made it into something street. Gotta do the da-na-na-na. How low is this thunder? I haven't heard. Oh. Yeah, I didn't hear it the whole time. it's probably make it. Boy did the same thing. Let's see if I can do it with just two, because I don't want it to be so repetitive. This shit's annoying. So arguably, these strings sound cheap. Missing the rabbit tape, dog. I like that. Sounds great. Oh. Yeah, that F4 piano. Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Hey. All right, cool. I mean, that's how you take a piece of shit and make it into a better piece of shit. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Actually, that's not set up right. But yeah, I mean, it's all about making music and enjoying the process and testing things out, and you never really know what's going to come out. I mean, really, it's just a matter of time until you figure out what's wrong in the mix or what's wrong with sound selection or getting everything to bounce off of each other. But I'm going to end the stream here, eat some lunch, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for checking it out. Appreciate you.